Hi, Steve Hart here. Last week I was in a metaphysical meeting. We were having a discussion, and the topic of dark entities and darkness was brought up. And some of the group said there was no such thing. And I spoke up and I shared my thoughts, and I explained to them that the way I perceive it is all light shining down. But there's a separation from the light. And as there's a separation, it creates a darkness. And in that darkness, there are spirit beings and entities that choose to live there. Now, call them predators, parasites, demons, archons, whatever name you want to give them. I do believe that they exist. There are spirit beings that choose to live in that separation. And being that we're spiritual beings, they can affect us here in physical form, as we see that there are people who choose to live their life and exhibit evil acts and inflict pain and suffering upon other people, as inspired by these dark entities. Now, when I brought this up in the meeting, there were several people in the group who I think had trouble and stumbled all over the fact that they cannot exist, because all they see is the love and light, which is good. But to be in denial of it, I think, is not wise. And there's a lack of understanding as to how it is that we can relate to them, me referring to these dark entities. Once again, their separation from the light. So it's all light. They come from a source of light, but there's a separation there. And in the darkness, in this lower vibration, they become unaware of who they are, and their intentions become dark. Now, this causes a great deal of conflict, and I understand that people have trouble accepting this. And the reason why is because if they exist, then should we be fearing them? It's a natural way for the human mind to respond to this. The idea of fearing these dark entities because they're unknown or unseen. And the next question is, are they controlling us? Do we have control over them? How do we know if we're being affected by them or not affected by them? Well, you know that because you're experiencing the love energy. If you're experiencing and being controlled by fear down here in the dark entities, then you know that they're having some effect upon you. In fact, they're feeding upon your fear. They're feeding upon your negative energy. Because that's what they do. Fear has to feed upon itself, whereas love emanates its own energy. Fear has to continually be fed. So I think it's wise that we be aware of these things. Not that we have to fear them. When we fear them, it's obvious that we do not know who we are. And the truth is, you are the light. Within you is the light, the source, the divine being that you are. And there's nothing to fear once you understand that. Just as we are not to fear those around us, but rather we're to let our light shine. So when you focus in on the light and love within your heart, there's nothing to fear. And you can face these entities if you're challenged to do so, and not be in a position of fear, but speak your truth. Be the light and love that you are.